Pranam Maharaj. My name is Sangeeta. It occurs to me that all the philosophy that we've had the privilege of studying here and hearing from you, we owe it to the philosophy of the Dharma texts and the gurus that have walked the path of the Dharma. My question today is in two parts, and the first part derives its context from the Mahabharata, which gave us the Gita. There is a sutra in there which says, Dharma eva hato hanti, dharmo rakshita, rakshati rakshitaha, which means Dharma protects those who protect it. Coming from that, the second part of the question is when Swami Vivekananda...
No, what was the first question?
The first part of the question is the sutra which says to us categorically that Dharma protects those who protect it. From this, I move to the time when Swami Vivekananda was on his pilgrimage to Kashmir in the Himalayas. And he goes to Srinagar and goes to the temple of Mata Shir Bhavani, also called as Khir Bhavani, wherein he has an extraordinary experience and he has a vision of the mother. But however, when he comes and looks at the temple and its surroundings, he is highly distressed to see that the invaders have desecrated it and kept it in very bad state. And he says to himself that, how did the people allow such a sacrilege to happen? And if I was present, I would have never let it happen. I would have even laid down my life to protect it. Which is when he gets the vision of the mother, as we read, wherein she comes in her glory and tells him, so what if the desecrators should enter my shrine, temple, defile my image, and break what is precious to the dharmic images? What is it to you? Do you protect me or do I protect you? I seek your counsel in how does a spiritual seeker and a Hindu today reconcile both these thoughts and be on the path of protecting the Dharma as well as understanding what Swami Vivekananda said. Thank you.
So that's the wisest answer and most comprehensive answer. The Divine Mother did not say to Vivekananda, what is it to you? Rather, do you protect me or do I protect you? You can never say what is it to you. If someone comes and destroys your house and ruins your life, you can't say what is it to you. No, it is something to me. I will protect myself. Yes. So, first of all, Dharma protects those who protect Dharma. What does it mean? It means, first and foremost, to learn, to know and practice that Dharma. It's an intangible. You cannot really protect something unless you practice it in your own life. In our own lives, we must know it first. What is it? At least some part of it, as much as we can. Transmit it. Talk to each other about it and transmit it to the next generation. Set up mechanisms and organizations for transmitting that. Protect it also means to write, to teach, to take it forward. New thinking, new books, new positions on it, new ways of practicing it. So keep it like our forefathers kept it alive for thousands of years. They were always innovating, always thinking anew, and it was fresh. So keep it fresh. First and foremost. It's not just spirituality. Dharma is such a wide term. It means culture and civilization. I remember reading this play in which, it was about the First World War, I think, in England, where a soldier is accusing a writer that, see, I am fighting in the front for you. You are avoiding your duty. You're just sitting at home and writing, but I am fighting in the front. And the writer says, if it's a writer, I've forgotten exactly. I think it was something written by George Bernard Shaw probably. And the writer says that, yes, but what are you fighting for? Why are you fighting? Isn't it to protect our way of life, our values? So that is what I am doing. I am protecting our way of life and values also by studying and writing and teaching. So that is the deeper meaning of Dharma protects those who protect Dharma. We must first protect it in our personal lives, in our family lives, in our community lives, and keep it fresh, ever new, growing, spreading, and welcome others to share of the benefits of Dharma. So that's the first part. Dharma protects those who protect themselves. Then Swami Vivekananda's vision. So first of all, remember Swami Vivekananda's life. His whole life was an intense life of protecting and spreading Dharma. And that's why he came to this country. That's why we are all sitting here today. We are all beneficiaries of Vivekananda. This is the center established by him, 1894. Not just us, not just in the Ramakrishna Mission or those who are coming here. Phil Goldberg has traced in his book American Veda how Vedanta and the vast treasury of spirituality from India, which came to the United States through a bridge. Vivekananda was that bridge. So his whole life was an intensity of practicing, protecting, reforming, purifying Dharma and spreading it. And that's the model for us. That's what we must do. At the same time, the final message given by the Divine Mother. Even when you are doing this, you are doing it by my power, she says. And the ultimate result of it is also in my hands. With what will I accomplish what? What is what I am accomplishing and how I am doing it? It's so mysterious for us. That does not mean, it's the Divine Mother's business to protect Dharma, so I won't do anything. It's her department. And let her do whatever she likes. I'll be happy with my own little life. No, not at all. Just the opposite. We must become instruments in the hands of the Divine Mother if we want to be blessed. And then she will work great things through us. If I make a pretense of I am the one leading, I am the key person, I am the person who's going to do everything, then the results will be very little at the end of it. Everything is being done by her. And wherever she puts me, in whatever occasion, I'll be gladly do, because I'm worshipping the Divine Mother. So, wiping out my sense of agency, but substituting there the cosmic agency, the agency of God. God is there doing all this. That is the very complete message given by Vivekananda. You must see Vivekananda's life in juxtaposition with the vision of the Divine Mother in Kshir Bhavani, not in isolation. If you remove that vision, then Vivekananda is the great person who did everything himself. If you remove Vivekananda and what Divine Mother says, then that's confusing. Then the question arises, so we shouldn't do anything? No, we must. I'll end with something. We have run out of time, but I'll end with a very interesting thing I heard a couple of days back. This was on Friday evening at the Met. William Dalrymple, who is a very well-known writer, written many books, he wrote this book, The Golden Road, How Ancient India Transformed the World. So there he talks about this bridge. He made so many references in various ways. So, for example, he said, everybody talks about the Silk Route. So he showed in the map, the Silk Route is to the north of China, through Central Asia to Europe. But he says most people don't know. And he says, notice in the map, it completely ignores India. So Silk Route is there, that is the bridge between Asia and Europe. He says, there was no such thing in the ancient world. I was surprised also, because we all read about the Silk Route. He says the first time this word was used, this term was used, the Silk Route, was in 1877 by a German scholar. He coined the term. One Baron Richthofen. And he said that if that rings bells in your mind, the Red Baron, he said he was the Red Baron's grandfather, who was a scholar. The Red Baron was the pilot in the First World War. He coined the term in German. He said the first English usage of the term Silk Route was in 1936. Before that, now it's all part of our history, and it is there in our history books. Yes, the trade was continued that way, but it was nothing like what was going on between India and Europe. And then he showed us another map. And he said, the Roman trade between the Roman Empire and Asia, where are Roman coins found? He showed the map of Eurasia. Of course, the maximum concentration is in Europe, because that's where the Roman Empire was. The next concentration is a few dots you find in the Middle East. Some Roman coins are found in various places. And North Africa, Middle East. Then a huge concentration in South India. There are, he says, the largest collections of Roman coins outside Europe are in Indian museums. Because there was such a vibrant trade between Rome, Greece before Rome, and then Rome and India. And he says, what about, he goes to China and the Far East, Roman coins, zero. There was no connection. The Romans were not aware of China, the Chinese were not aware of the Romans. But yet for more than 2,000-3,000 years, the Greeks and the Romans and the Indians were very much aware of each other. You find a lot of writing about India in Roman texts. So, and then he says, so what? What is its connection to spirituality? And he says, if you trace the paths of the Buddhist masters who went across Afghanistan, across Iran, across Iraq, in parts of Arabia, up to the Middle East. And he says in one generation, he said there are depiction of Buddhist monks in the Middle East, Buddhist monasteries, up to North Africa. In one generation, exactly the same iconography shows the desert fathers in the desert, the early Christian monks. Almost the same model of monasticism, which these ancient, forgotten Middle Eastern Buddhists had, and the same model you see in the earliest Christian monasteries. It can't be a coincidence. This is the recent stunning discovery of a beautiful face of the Buddha. Where? In Egyptian temples. He showed those things. They are now in museums now. That means, what was the extent of India's influence at that time? Based on what? On the connections of the Roman trade. It spread there. When the Roman Empire collapsed, he shows the maps. These traders, they found slowly Italy and southern Europe, the markets disappeared as it descended into the Dark Ages. The Goths and the Vandals and all, they came and destroyed the Roman Empire. The markets disappeared. Then the Indian traders were thinking, where to go now? And they turned their eye to Southeast Asia. And the huge trade shifted to Indonesia, Cambodia, leading to, say, the biggest Hindu temple in the world, outside, not even in India, Angkor Wat in Cambodia. And he says, in Vietnam, I didn't know these things. The early traders would come in from Tamil Nadu actually, and settling down there, and their reverence for Ganga, which they would travel in North India for pilgrims, and they would come and they would say, Ma Ganga, Mekong. I didn't know the Mekong Valley and the Mekong River. Yes, that's the source is Ganga. They named it. That is the Ganga. It's so thrilling to see. And he showed pictures of the ancient ruins of Hindu temples there, which are now mostly Buddhist temples now. They're all temples of Vishnu. He says in 1920s, Rabindranath Tagore visited. He says, all around me I see India, but I do not recognize it. Again, on the bridge of trade. And then Vivekananda writes, this is the conclusion. He says, whenever a great power has knit the world together, on those lines of trade and communication, India has raced outwards into the world. The ideas of India has spread across the world. Once again, he says, such a phenomenon is before us, the British Empire. So literally because of that, Vivekananda came here. Once again, India is awakening and those ancient ideas are spreading across the world. So, and we are literally where we are sitting here today. It's part of that phenomenon. Sister Nivedita says, when Vivekananda stood up to speak at the World Parliament of Religions, very eloquently she describes, she says, before him was the new America, the new civilization with its might and vigor, with its telegraph and steamships, and electricity had been invented. Edison was there, Tesla was there with their pavilions. This was before Vivekananda, the new world, with all its confidence and energy and might. Behind Vivekananda, she says, behind him lay 5,000 years of patient development of spirituality. When he stood up to speak, these two worlds met. Awesome. She says, not only the East and the West met at that moment when this young monk stood up to speak at the World Parliament of Religions, but also the past and the future. So Vivekananda was not only looking back to the past, he was looking to the future, to us. That's why he remains relevant to us and to civilizations and centuries. It's a impersonal truth spread out freely across the world. It touches our lives, and it will touch the lives of those thousands who will come in centuries hence.